Hey guys, welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News. We're doing a Sunday show. I'm feeling a little drunk. I'm here in South Beach, so we're going to do one. Plus, I got some issues. So, this isn't going to be too much newsy stuff. But, anyways, we're going to talk about our three stories of the day are the EOS mainnet controversies. Two controversies have hit the EOS mainnet. We're going to take a deep look. We're going to take a deep look at why are we having this 6-month market decline. As you know, I flipped out last week, and I got a little pissed off. I was like, what the fuck, dudes? Like, all these crypto companies, all you hear is good news about Ripple, good news about this, good news about that. And because Bitcoin goes down, everything else goes down. What the fuck is that? You know, I'm a market guy. I've been in the markets for about 18 years now. I've never seen that. So anyway, we're going to talk about a deep look at why there's a decline. And then we're going to have there's going to be a story about the blockchain revolution that's happening now versus what happened in the internet. And that's going to be talked about by the CEO of something. I don't remember. But we're going to read about that crap. So I'm drinking and smoking today on air. I know. But look, I don't do these on Sunday anyway. The reason I'm doing it is probably because I'm a little drunk. So let's get it. let's get to the goods. Let's get to the goods as we usually do. Let's look at today's markets. What are we looking at here? So, as usual, the usual suspects in the top 10. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Litecoin, Cardano, IOTA, and Tron. Okay, we've got a little bit up on, well, this is ridiculous. 0.19% up. So, everything's just within like a 2-point range. Nothing's going on. Let's check out the rest of the market. Oh, 8% there. Who's these guys? Oh, Binance Coin. Okay, 8% for them. VeChain. We read about them the other day, man. Yo, man, those guys are doing some serious work over there, and they're with the Chinese government and stuff too. Right? What did we read about? We read about them. What was it? What was it? They did they hooked up with a big, huge shipping company. Yeah, from Europe. So, and they have like 18 contracts with the Chinese government, which, you know, they're communists. So if they say you're going to make money, I guess you're making money, buddy. So yeah, everything's just, maybe the market's just opened or something. Because, I mean, these moves are just minuscule. So anyways, let's see who our top earners of the day are. Okay. Decentraland again, guys. Remember we just talked about those guys the other day? Wow, these guys are blasting off. Wow, 11 cents. But whatever. But in comparison to what they were, look at that. Binance Coin, of course, we talked about that. What is this one? Mithril, they were up there too the other day at 8% here. Red Coin, Nuts or Nulls, my bad. VeChain, we talked about them the other day. Kryptonics, Dropale, and Dragon Chain are Dragon Chain. That's the one from Disneyland, or the Disney company, Disney Corp. So yeah, there are a couple. Anyways, what was that? Is that Neo down there? Yeah, there's Neo, 2.44. True. Okay, so let's get to the stories of the day. EOS, naughty boys. First of all, and that's partly the reason I'm doing this. First of all, EOS, their blockchain went down the other day. They just did their mainnet launch. And it already crashed. So let's read it. EOS has recently received criticisms regarding its latest blockchain halt and controversial statements on its termination of agreement. Oh, yeah, we're going to read about this. Or Article 15. I hope that's 15. Forget my Roman numerals. Anyways, controversial centralization issue. And this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. So EOS, what they want to do basically, let me talk to you guys a little closer. So basically what EOS wants to do, they want to do cloud computing on a blockchain. That's their thing. And anyways, but to be a true cryptocurrency and all this kind of stuff, you have to be decentralized, right? Like there has to be like thousands of computers holding the data, right? In actuality, EOS only has like 20 something. I think they're called not master nodes, but whatever they call them. We'll read it later in the article. And so it's not really decentralized, is it? If you kind of limit it to like 20 groups of guys, right? So, all right, so let's read this. Earlier this week, one of the members of an online cryptocurrency community released the termination of agreement between EOS and its investors, sparking a debate on the ability of the EOS team to gain control over users' funds and reverse transactions. This is some fucked up shit. Oh, let's go to here. Reverse transactions. The agreement in question, Article 15, read, a member is automatically released from all recoverable obligations under this Constitution 3 years after the last transaction signed by that member is incorporated into the blockchain. After 3 years of inactivity, an account may be put up for auction and the proceeds distributed to all members according to the system contract provisions then in effect for such redistribution. I mean, look. I'm not, look. Does that sound right? Like, so they're saying like if you don't do anything with your tokens in 3 years, all right, they can just redistribute your money, your tokens. That's very antithetical to what I thought this whole cryptocurrency thing was about. Was about having control of your own life in a way, at least finances, right? Anyways, essentially, the EOS team explained that if an EOS holder is inactive for more than 3 years, meaning the holder does not initiate any transactions or hold on to EOS without receiving or sending a transaction, EOS has the authority to take over the account. What if I just want to buy and hodl? What if I'm just hodling? You know what I mean? Like, who is it to you to make me have to do something with this stuff, right? Like, what the hell is that about? So, on any other major public blockchain, it is up to the users to spend or hodl their funds, and it is unacceptable to take the authority away from the users. If a blockchain project has the authority to reverse transactions and suspend the accounts of users to begin with, it's difficult to argue that the project is decentralized to a large extent. In a decentralized and peer-to-peer ecosystem, logically, no central party should have any sort of authority over transactions and accounts of the users. For instance, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, no central party can reverse or suspend the accounts of users. And it is virtually impossible without carrying out a 51% attack, which it's almost impossible to carry out a 51% attack against Bitcoin and Ethereum anyway. So even Rick Schlesinger, co-founder of EOS New York, who previously noted that the termination of agreement of EOS and the team's ability to suspend accounts was specifically employed to prevent users from holding on to the cryptocurrency for years without contributing to the ecosystem, recently admitted that Article 15 should be scrutinized, and it is not appropriate for EOS to decide for what its users can use the tokens. Yeah. Schlesinger said in an interview, TNW Hardforks near Vashni, I do think the community is going to scrutinize Article 15 closely, as they should. This is why we're here, to experiment with this nascent technology and learn about how a governed blockchain can respond to the community's will. On June 17th, and so that's that one issue. So that's issue number one. Issue number one for EOS. That's issue number one for EOS. I didn't know that. That's some messed up stuff. They can actually just suspend your account if you decide to just buy and hodl for over 3 years. If you don't do anything with the money, with the tokens, they take it and redistribute it. It's a little odd. Now, issue number two, the recent EO blockchain halt. On June 17th, the EO blockchain, so today is June 17th, 2018, all right? So on June 17th, the EO blockchain was put to a halt after a bug was discovered merely several days after its mainnet launch. One of the EOS team said, a method to unpause the chain was formulated and is currently underway. Normal EOS chain functions should be available within 3 to 6 hours from the time of publication. Incoming connections to the network are not being accepted while the work is taking place. Please wait for an update from the top 21 block producers before attempting EOS mainnet transactions. Now, that's what I'm talking about, right? They have only like 20-something block producers. That would be the equivalent of the miners in Bitcoin. And you're calling yourself decentralized, like, but you only have this limit of 21. And then I guess they have this a couple backup block producers, and they can take away your money if you don't spend it or do something with it. So anyways, for long-term growth, so here's the good news for all you EOS holders. Here's a little bit of good news. For long-term growth, experiencing early bugs could be beneficial for EOS as it may allow the blockchain project to develop resilience towards future attacks. But as of current, some investors remain dissatisfied with EOS and the progress it has made since pre-mainnet launch. So, you know, those what's going on with EOS. You know, they if you didn't know that, EOS holders, if you didn't know that, yeah, you have to make transactions, or they'll just take that. And the mainnet went down for a little bit, but they said they're going to fix it. So, all right. So now we're going to take a deep look. So, look, guys, hold on a second. We've been in a 6-month bear market pretty much, right? Since last year. And, you know, at the beginning in January, we did the report on it, blah, blah, blah. That was because South Korea banned all those people or banned all non-South Koreans from using South Korean crypto exchanges. So all those people had to move their money. So that made sense. We understand why that is. But why else, right? Like, as I sit here, like, how I do this show is, you know, I'm an investor, so I don't go to a 9-to-5 job. My money makes me money, and so all day I'm a Forex trader, so I'm investigating, you know, while reading up about what's going on in the markets internationally. But then after I'm done with my Forex stuff, I go to my crypto stuff. So I look at about 15 pages a day. And so if a story comes up, like say 4 or 5 times or something, that's the story I tell you guys, right? Because that's obviously the hot story of the day. Anyways, so, but there's been a lot of these stories, not stories, but just analyses of why the market's going down. Like, why does it keep going down? The South Korean thing's over, right? And then blah, blah, blah. There's the guy from Mt. Gox. People are saying, because Mt. Gox got hacked a while back, and so they have to pay their customers back. So they're using this one crypto account that has, I don't know how many thousands of Bitcoin in it, and they keep releasing those every once in a while. And so people are saying, well, that's diluting the market, and that's making the market go down. And then there's also the theory of just that a lot of people jumped into the market as Bitcoin went up. But they're not true investors. They were just kind of looking for a quick buck. And now that everything's gone down, like, they're out. They're just like, screw this. And they're out. And so those are sort of some of the theories that you hear a lot about, in when I'm doing my research. So anyways, this is a good investigation. I like this one because it goes over a couple theories and what is the reason for the bear market. Like, you know, hold on. You remember I flipped out a couple weeks ago, or was that last week? Right? Because I'm a trader. You know, I've been in the markets since I was a kid. You know, I haven't had a 9-to-5 job for 18 years. And, you know, I've traded stocks. I've traded stocks using options. And I trade Forex derivative contracts for Forex exchange. And look, in my world, in the traditional markets, good news means the asset goes up in value, right? Like, the asset goes up in value, not down, right? You know, China is selling more cars. All right, the Australian dollar goes up because China is buying a bunch of you know, aluminum from them or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, good news means things go up. Here in this crypto market, look, Ripple is signing up bank after bank. They're with bank, for crying out loud, American Express, yet it goes down. Let's look at this. Tron, the guy from Tron, I just did the story yesterday on it, but he just bought flipping, what's it called, BitTorrent. He's got some crafty thing up his sleeve that he's about to do with it. That's good news. That's in the stock world, we call that M&A, mergers and acquisitions. You just acquired it, right? There's a lot of amateurs in the market, and that's why we're seeing this craziness. You know, just because Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. What the fuck is that? That's like Ford going down, and so that means Microsoft goes down. It doesn't make sense. They're two different things. Why does, you know, I don't know, Cardano go down? Because Bitcoin goes down. They're two different things. So anyways, we're going to take a little deeper dive into this. I mean, that's my beef with this crypto market. Like, I'm in the traditional markets. I've been in there since I was 20 years old. I'm 44 years old. And I've never seen a market like this. Like, this is fucked up shit. But anyways, so, you know, I mean, and if any of you out there are investors, I mean, if you have an E-Trade account or you're trading Forex or anything, you know what I'm talking about, right? Fucking good news for fucking Apple means it goes up, right? They sell extra iPhones. All right, the shit goes up. Here in Cryptoland, Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. What the fuck is that? So anyways, we're going to just take a little deeper dive. Let me stop my griping and just let's go. Okay? So a long, long time ago, as seen in the history books, last December, Bitcoin reached almost 20 grand. And other cryptos saw an exciting rise, with some tokens witnessing a massive 1,000-point increase. No one would have expected what is to follow. The next year began with a downtrend, which continued on for 6 months at press time, which is 6/17/2018. Although chart analysts and market readers expected a pullback, no one expected the market to be in the current bearish hold for such a long time. Bitcoin at press time was trading at $6,484 to a token, with a market cap of $111 billion and a poor trading volume of $3 billion, which was last commonly experienced in early November last year. So actually, that's another thing. Volume, man. People just kind of aren't interested. AMB Crypto Reports tried to understand the current market sentiment by interviewing different people from the industry, including miners, investors, whales, devs, and other people from the market who currently are vested in the market. So this is the following breakdown as a synopsis and aggregation of all the opinions from the reported sentiments. So what we're looking at here is, as the price is falling, people are giving reasons, okay? So you see how it starts at 20K to 14K? That's what they think the reason was. 14K to 11K? That's the reason. 11 to 9? So we're going to read it down, okay? So from 20 to 14K, the expected pullback. So people expected that. Obviously, it was a huge bubble. Although the analysts and traders predicted a fall to 16K, 14K is what they settled for as a pullback price scenario before Bitcoin went back up again. So they thought it would go to 14K and go up. Didn't happen. Now from 14K to 11K was the regulatory concerns. This is so stupid, and I always say this, guys, and I've been telling you guys this. We need regulation. We need fucking, let me say this shit like this. We need fucking regulation. The big money is not coming in the market unless they can feel their shit safe. We're just a bunch of Wild West cowboys out here. Let's get real, right? Bunch of cowboys. You know, the big money, Bill Gates money, you know, Koch brother money, like money. You know what I'm talking about? Hedge fund money. Those fuckers aren't coming in until they know that their shit is safe. They're secure. The custodianship we talked about last week, that's one of the big deals. Who's going to hold their crypto for these hedge funds? You know what I mean? A hedge fund doesn't buy, you know, when a hedge fund comes in, they're not going to be buying, you know, I'm going to be buying 10,000 Ripple. They're going to be buying, you know, 50 million Ripple. You think they're going to, yeah, and they're not allowed to hold that on like some Ledger Nano S for their clients. You have to have what's called custodianship. And so you have to go with these custodian companies that are regulated and stuff. And these are the regulations that are coming out. So I don't know why people are so pissed off. We want regulation. This whole fantasy, I know, the whole, oh, no more fiat currency, libertarian, all that. Look. let's get real, okay? We need regulation so big money comes in and drives the prices of stuff up. When these people talk about these whales, a whale, yeah, some billionaire who comes in and buys up a bunch of crypto. Yeah, you know what a hedge fund is? A hedge fund is a bunch of whales putting their money together in one fund and coming to unleash those funds on the market. So, yeah, one whale buys 100 or 1,000 Bitcoin. Yeah. When these hedge funds come in, they're going to be buying 1,000 flip-in Bitcoin. They're going to be buying 10,000 at a time. You know what I mean? Like, guys, so we need regulation. Anyway, so this regulatory concern. But it's not really here. All right, let's talk about that from here. Regulatory concern is not a big issue here in America. America is gung-ho. The SEC and everyone, they say they're going to unleash crypto, but they're going to regulate it, but it is going to be unleashed. It's other little countries that have little problems, like, South Korea, they banned it. Or no, sorry, so China banned all cryptocurrencies. Now they're saying, then they banned the exchanges. Then they were like, okay, you can own cryptocurrency, but you're not allowed to transform it into renminbi. That's the name of their fiat currency, or the yuan is what most people know it as, but actually the Chinese money is called renminbis. So you're not allowed to transfer it back to renminbis. And now they're lightening up. You know what I mean? South Korea banned these exchanges, and then last week they came out and they were like, yeah, we're good, but we're just going to regulate, which is fine. We want regulation so big money comes in from around the world. Right? The Europeans, they got billionaires and millionaires too. We need that money to come in. Anyways, so, all right, so let's check this out. Regulatory concerns. The second half of January was plagued by regulatory crackdown news from South Korea to India, where the possibility of banning cryptos was in play. Look, and that's the other thing. A lot of these countries in that, you got to remember, these old fucks that run them, they're 70, 80-year-old motherfuckers. They don't know what the fuck's going on. So they get all afraid of some new crap. And then, but the truth is, when they see America jumping on board, they see Japan jumping on board, major economies, they see Germany jumping on board, like, they don't want to be left behind. So don't worry. Whenever you hear these bullshit stories about, like, oh, blah, 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 so-and-so banned crypto, sure they did. But believe me, that'll be overturned. They're not going to want to be left behind. Who's going to want to do business with them when they're not on the blockchain? Who's going to trust their data? Blockchain data can't be tampered with, right? That's the level of what we're going into in the world, the new world we're about to live in. Untamperable data. Your country's all messed up with tamperable data. They don't want to be left behind, so don't ever worry about that when you hear some shit like that. All right? So South Korea possibly banning cryptos, blah, blah, blah. Created chaos and panic-driven markets were in play. Okay, so from 11,000 to 9,000, uncertain markets plus the hacks, plus the Mt. Gox fear. I did explain the Mt. Gox fear. This phase was clouded with fear following the regulatory hacks, whatever that means. Although Mt. Gox is selling, Mt. Gox hack, would or wouldn't have affected the prices during January to February, the fear definitely played a part and kept institutional investors at bay. Exchange hacks rumors and big chunks of money being actually stolen did play a part in the already fudded markets. So from 9,000 to where we are now, inconclusive, exactly. No one knows what the fuck, because that's the truth. What the fuck, dudes? I told you. Why is Bitcoin, excuse me, like, why are any of these things going down? It's only good news. Look at this shit. Why is anything going down? It's only good news after good news after good news. Ripple keeps signing up people. Tron keeps signing up people. Bitcoin just did that Lightning Network thing. And you read the report, or if you watched the video from last week or whatever, I did the Bitcoin Lightning report. That is 0.1% of a, no, 10% of 1/10 of a penny it costs now to make transfers on the Lightning Network. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Why are things going down? These are unprofessional investors, bunch of little kids, and they're messing up the markets. But that's what we're going to show you. The big money is going to come in, and that's the next story. Actually, we're going to show you. And you're going to hear it from a real CEO kind of guy, not just a home investor like me. Okay. So, inconclusive. Of course, no one knows what the fuck because it doesn't make sense. There were a lot of unsatisfying answers from the CoinRail hack to the prices being manipulated by Bitfinex's Tether. But the most legitimate point would be the current trading volumes, which are currently 5 to 6 times lower than what was witnessed during the peak trading period in December to January 2018. Prices reflecting from low trade volumes are generally considered futile. So, volume is down, but people still own this stuff. So, that last excuse doesn't wash well with me. An earlier article pointed out the possibility of Bitcoin markets staying red till September because of the possible Mt. Gox Bitcoin sell-off, which could resume post the court date scheduled for the 18th of September. So the 18th of September, like I told you, Mt. Gox got hacked. All those Bitcoins got stolen, and they have to pay them back. And so I don't know if it's the CEO or how it works at Mt. Gox, but some guy who owns all those coins for Mt. Gox has been selling them, and they're saying that they've been flooding the market. Like, he's not selling like 10 Bitcoin at a time. He's selling like 8,000, 80,000 Bitcoins at a time. And so that's flooding the market. And so what it looks like, he's got another court date on the, what does it say right here? The 18th of September. So let's see. That could be something. So Philemon Naga, pseudonym, a crypto investor with an interesting portfolio worth $5.23 million, talked to AMB about the price manipulation and said, manipulations are part of not only the crypto world, it's there all around you. And it's true. They do that. They do pump and dumps on the stock exchange. They did those London traders got they got for the LIBOR. They messed around with the LIBOR numbers. If you know economics, you'll know what I mean by LIBOR. That's the interbank rate for Europe. Yeah, so it does happen in every market. Well, not the Forex market that I trade. It's too big for that. You can't manipulate that market. But you can manipulate data, right? The Chinese, they'll come out with funky data, and everyone can tell they're lying. But anyway, so manipulation, people have been talking about it, that they use Tether. Apparently, Bitfinex used Tether as a way to pump up the price of Bitcoin. I'll do a thing about that on Monday, maybe, if I remember. All right, but anyway, so the manipulations are part, and not only of the crypto world, but of the whole world. Getting one Bitcoin for $6,000 is a steal today, but there isn't enough buying pressure. Are we waiting for a 4K scenario? There's no way in hell Bitcoin doesn't go up from here. In my opinion, the people who are currently selling it so cheap should be primarily merchants for goods or services. Smart guys are still in. I consider weak hands to be out. Unless Satoshi wakes up and sells his shit, this market is going nowhere. We're in for a good rebound, for a big rebound. So that he made a couple of interesting statements. Merchants who take Bitcoin payments while they're cashing in their Bitcoins as they go down, they're like, well, they want to cash them in right away as they're going down. They'd hold them if they saw it going up. But also the weak hands thing. Look, a lot of people came in the market at the end of 2017, and they were in it for a quick buck. You know, kids were coming in to pay their rent. Here in America, let's talk. Here in America, people gave up their mortgages, refinanced their homes to buy Bitcoins because they thought it was just going to keep skyrocketing. And, they're just not used to volatility. Like, I'm a Forex trader. We're the most volatile market. Well, before this market came out, we were the most volatile market. So I'm used to these, and other people's are hodlers, and you understand the concepts of what's happening here in the revolution of the blockchain. And so you're hodling hard. But a lot of people just bought in real quick and they didn't get it. Like, they didn't understand that you're in a real market. Things go up and down, and they couldn't handle the down. And so they've got, it's called a market shakeup. You shake the weak out of the market. In the stock world, that's what it's called. You know, yeah. So in other words, they kind of had a mental stop loss in their minds of where they couldn't handle the price going down anymore, and they sold out. And that's the thing. Like, they always tell you, don't invest anything if you're not willing to lose it. You know what I mean? And so these guys thought they could pay rent with it. They could pay their bills with it. They're not getting it. Things are just ramping up, right? I mean, most of these cryptos don't even have a flipping network yet up, right? It's just a white paper, an idea. Anywho, all right. Blah, 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 blah. What do we got here? Okay, so Majid Khan, a veteran trader from New York, says, if you know Bitcoin from 2013, you know that there was a sudden spurt in price around 2013 when it reached 1,000. And then never went back there again until about 3 years later. But when it did come back, it came back with a bang. People fail to look at the bigger picture. That's the problem. If you thought you were going to pay your rent, your bills with this stuff, guy, it's like investing in Microsoft. Like, things take time. Or any share, you know what I mean? Like, a bearish claw now is okay. Worst case scenario, by this year end, we might see some positive price action, but that doesn't mean Bitcoin crypto is dead. It never will be. Bitcoin might die 20, 30 years down the road, but now, fuck no, the shit's going to live. You're lucky to be alive right in this time, motherfucker, is what he says. Well, that's not what he said, but you know what I'm saying. That was my, my remix. All right, so despite the bearish market throughout this year, many consider, so we're down here now, many consider 2018 to be the year with the most amount of progress in the blockchain space. Technological developments and government adoption of blockchain technology into the state infrastructure should, according to many signals, a positive sign for cryptos. The crypto incentive is what propelled blockchain forward. Without the incentive, developments might stifle. And that's the truth. And that's why we'll buy a hold around these parts. Around these parts, we holding, boy. We're holding hard around here. Because that's the truth. I mean, mainnets are just coming online. Right? It's all just been a story, just a fantasy. Ripple is now actually making transactions with American Express. People are actually building distributed apps on Ethereum. So this is the year where, blockchain becomes a reality. Like, not just this theory, guys, in their basements, tinkering around on their computers. It's real now, and getting more and more and more and more and more and more real, and it's going to take over the world. So buy and hodl. But that's what they're talking about. Like, that was why the decline, the Mt. Gox thing, these hacks, all this stuff, with the regulatory crackdowns and all this stuff. Alrighty, so let's get to the last story. This vodka's kicking in nicely. Now we're gonna do this one because this is a more upbeat story, and this is what I keep saying this to everybody. I keep saying it here. If you go to the videos from the beginning of when I started this channel, I was telling everybody, like, I'm 44 years old. I know I look young, but I'm 44. I was alive for the .com bubble, and when that bubble was around, people made mad money. My dad, all his buddies, I told this story before. They used to high-five each other, cooking steaks in the backyard in the summertime, like, yes, I've made all this money. You know what I mean? They wouldn't even know. They didn't even know what, like, a router was. You know what I mean? But they just knew that their Cisco paid them. They didn't even know what a server was. But they just knew. They just put their money in this stuff, and they made money. And that's basically what we're in right now. And let me get to it for you. You're going to be rich, all of you watching this, Remember this. You're going to be flipping rich one day. Well, depending on how much crypto you own. But that's the level of the market now. This is the way you're in right now, the way we're all in right now. It's as if we bought Microsoft and Apple at 10 cents. Literally. And remember, each new technology, the market caps get bigger and bigger. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. So look at this. The total market cap for cryptocurrency is what? That can't be the whole thing. Well, anyway, this says $21 billion, 21 and change. Or, sorry, 28 and change. Facebook's market cap is 600 billion something. Dude, all of these companies are going to be worth 600 and something billion soon. Wow. In a few years. I think by 2021, we're going to start. That's when the rise. I mean, the end of 2020 is going to be the huge rise. But, you know what I mean? Like, that's the total market cap, right? Bitcoin's only, 6 and change. Like, dude, this market has so much growth. It's disgusting. Like, this market, the cryptocurrency market, is going to be well over trillions of dollars by the time this thing, settles down 10 years from now, 10, 15 years from now. Anyways, Yoni Asha, founder and CEO of eToro. eToro is a trading platform who has been trading since the age of 13, believes the ideas right now are much bigger in scale than they were in the dot-com era. Oh, believes the ideas right now are much bigger than they were in the dot-com era. He feels this is the explanation behind the obscenely large amounts of money raised at ICOs. And remember that, guys. I guess this is sort of a pep talk, today's whole thing. Hold on. This is sort of a pep talk. I want you to buy and hodl. I know it's been bad news after bad news, red day after red day when I show the market stuff, bloodbath after bloodbath. Have no fear. Stay strong. Don't sell yourself short. This stuff's going to take a while. Okay? This stuff's going to take a while. So just every once in a while, you keep pumping a little bit more money back in. And believe me, in a couple of years, you're going to be rich. Like when I say rich, I mean rich. Like as if you invested in Microsoft at 10 flipping cents. Right? Look at Tron. What is that shit? Let's look at some of these top 10. See, I'm drunk. I'm just talking shit right now. But it's true, though. Right? Like, look at... What kind of crap is this? Oh, my gosh. Tron at 4 cents. Look at this down here. 4 cents, guys. IOTA, $1.18. Cardano, 16 cents. Stellar, 23 cents. Like, we're talking pennies. Pennies. Dude, these things are going to be... IOTA just teamed up with the United Nations. They just teamed up with Volkswagen. Like, when the institutional investors get here, and that's what we're going to read now, once the big money gets here, these things are going to be worth hundreds and thousands of dollars, man. So stock up now, buddies. Stock up now. Okay, listen. So since the start of the year alone, $9 billion has been raised as funding for ICOs, according to consultancy firm Autonomous Next. And this is what Asia says. You have something that you've never had before, not even in the dot-com bubble. And for you that are old enough, for you that are old enough, you remember the dot-com bubble. You flip and remember every day on CNN, CNBC, what was it? Oh, the stock market up again. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, every day, right? Every day. It was a frenzy. It was nuts, right? That's what we're going to go through. The reason it's not happening yet is because people don't know about this stuff, right? Once these bankers start telling crypto or soccer mom and dad, like, hey, we've got a new account for you, you can invest in that, they're going to be investing. And once the big money comes, once these hedge fund boys start coming through, oh my gosh, the money is going to be sick. It's going to be sick. The prices are going to be sick. You're going to be rich. You are going to be rich. I'm just telling you, man. Telling you. I mean, in the trading world, we always say, don't spend your money until in your mind. Wait till you've actually taken it off your exchange. So don't. But you are going to be rich. If you're a genius idea now and you have a white paper, put out a white paper on it, and suddenly you have a 100,000 millionaires reading it and saying, that's a really good idea. If 1,000 of them put up 10 grand, which is not a lot of money for those kind of people, you just raised 10 million for your ICO. That scale has never happened before. And that's the beauty. Remember this, guys. We're the first ones in. The big money is coming in later, right? When do we get to buy crap? We get to buy crap at IPOs, right? In the real or traditional investing world, right? Once the company is making money, all the insiders have their money. Then they put it on the exchanges. Then we get to buy, the Googles and the Microsofts and whatnot, Facebooks and everything. But we're the first ones buying. The big money hasn't come in yet. So it's kind of a reverse. We're going to be the ones making all that money, just as if you were pre-IPO in the traditional trading world. So ICOs are fraught with risk because the industry is just not regulated tightly. A lot of them have flopped, blah blah blah. But this guy says, why yet investing in cryptocurrencies now is as good as investing in the internet 10 years ago. Aisha, who holds Bitcoin and Ethereum, said Tesla made $2,000 in the past 10 years. So the past 10 years, that's what this guy's talking about here. Tesla made 2,000%. Facebook made 1,000%. Google another 1,000%. This is the same thing, but we're earlier in the cycle. You see, he's talking 1,000% from IPO. We're pre-IPO. We're already in. The big money are now the ones coming in. So my long-term view is, and I believe this 100%, my long-term view is selling crypto now is like selling Apple in 2001. You do it if you have to do it, but you don't do it if you don't have to do it. That's my personal view. Again, every person has to decide for themselves. If you're into this technology, you're like, why hasn't everybody moved on to this technology? It's an endless opportunity to move things onto the blockchain. You have an insane amount of very smart people who are envisioning this future and trying to build products for it. So exactly, just what he said, like, it's like Apple back in the days. It's like Microsoft back in the days. Like, that's what's happening, and it is the future. So, blah, 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 blah. That's it then. All right, let's go. One last market cap. We have our usual suspects, as I always call them. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Litecoin, Stellar, Cardano, IOTA, and Tron. I've been blabbing today. I know we've been blabbing today. But, that's what today was about. I'll be back to normal proceedings tomorrow. So, guys, don't forget to subscribe so that you can get the automatic updates. Remember that we're going to start doing those airdrops next week. And so I hope today was a good little pep talk. Hodl hard, hodl good. Don't give up. Remember to subscribe on that little thing right. It should be around there somewhere. Little thing there. And check us out on Twitter and Facebook. And we will see you on, tomorrow, Monday. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me while I had a couple drinks and a couple smokes. See you next week.